What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This stream is all about what's been going on locally with the Philadelphia sports talk scene, which I've been keeping up, man. Right now, it's just been like an honest to God random shuffle as we've kind of like made our way through the days here. So, kind of like the big bombshell lately is that Bob Cooney is out at the midday hour, which I mean, if you've been listening to 90s, if you're someone like me who lives on this stuff, who needs this stuff just to get you through your day, then you know, man, Bob Cooney's been there. He's certainly been a sport. They had him on the morning show. For whatever it's worth, man, they had a really nice mix, in my opinion, when they had Kincaid, Pat, Bob Cooney, and Jamie, all four of them attacking the morning show. That was actually pretty good for me. And I even go so far back as I really liked it when Farzi was kind of running the show there. But Bob Cooney's always been a sport, man, and he definitely knows his stuff, especially when it comes to basketball. But he's out, man. So he recently made this announcement. Wanted to thank all the listeners over the years during my time at the Fanatic. Loved the conversations and getting to know a lot of you. They told me today they're moving in a different direction, which is ironically enough what Mike Missanelli said when they got rid of him 2 years and 3 months ago. I only laugh at it because don't worry, man, he's back. He's doing well. So, he's actually landing on his feet as we'll see here. But the first thing I thought was pretty interesting is despite all the hate that obviously sports talk and just talk radio in general can get, 97.5 has really started to take this approach of we're not going to engage with anyone here when it comes to the hate. So first day after the Bob Cooney firing, here we are on the live stream, and we just have one comment left. This is after the live stream already went up. Fire Bob Cooney, then block out comments and live chat. So weak, 97.5 The Fanatic. Cowards. Everyone should should give the midday show a thumbs down. Click today. I think that's a little bit unfair. Don't judge the midday show without Bob Cooney on its own merits. Don't just go and thumbs down them. It's just simply to send a message to Beasley Media, although it's honest to God, probably not the worst protest that you could actually approach it with. But here you go, man. So they've kind of like taken the, dare I say, WIP Howard Eskin approach here, where it's like, don't bring it up. Don't mention it. We're just moving on. We literally don't care what you think, which again, recently, I'm not even going to get into the Eskin stuff. But if you've been following this whole scene, Cataldi recently made a really great point, man. And I think it gets to the crux of what we're kind of dealing with here as consumers of this media. Again, if you're like me, you enjoy Philadelphia sports and therefore sports talk, where we can all kind of get together, share our opinions, as dumb and asinine as they might be. At the very least, you get a few chuckles out of it. You get to laugh at people and all that good stuff. But what we're really experiencing here is this cultural shift where the sports talk stations are like, if it's bad, we just don't want to deal with it, and we're just going to move on without your opinion. So I thought one thing that was kind of interesting before the whole Bob Cooney firing even took place was that Anthony and Mike reunited. So we'll get rid of this. They reunited on All City, which, if you don't know, All City is this alternative sports network that's popped up in Philadelphia. And, it's kind of like your Barstool Sports local sports coverage. They're kind of doing all the things that Sports Talk does. I think with the exception of call-ins, they interact with chat, but to my knowledge, they don't really have a call-in show per se. But they're kind of emulating that model. And honestly, for my money, they're putting the best foot forward as far as where we're probably going to see a lot of this stuff start to go. But anyway, Mike was on this show not that long ago. Here's him and Ant reunited. This was something a lot of people were looking forward to for a really long time, unless you just hate these two guys, in which case I don't even know why you would bother tuning into it, except for a good old fashioned hate watch. But there was a couple of parts of it that I thought were particularly interesting, and I figured that we'd go back and kind of just look over. So one, I thought it was pretty interesting how much, they're exchanging niceties, and basically a lot of the talk here, besides just the general state of Philadelphia sports talk, is what is currently going on with Mike, which, if you don't know, Mike's been doing the Bet Rivers thing. He's been working for Jock Kid Sports. He's doing his own podcast. He talks about starting like a true crime podcast on this. So he's had his hands and his feet in a bunch of different things. I think he published a children's book in the time that he's been off the radio. The guy's been busy, he's certainly not slouching it out or just hanging out in retirement. But he talks a lot about missing terrestrial radio in this interview. So I thought that was particularly interesting. You can kind of feel his itch as he's going on. And again, I don't want to just like blow up All City here. I don't know how litigious they are with their sharing of streams and stuff. They'll probably nail my ass for this. So we won't go too far into it. But what I do want to show you here is a few key moments. So we'll pause here. We're going to scrub ourselves over to an hour and like 23 minutes here, where as they're talking about the current state of sports talk, it's particularly interesting that they get on the subject of young sports talk hosts and hot takes, which for Mike coming back to 97.5 The Fanatic, that's going to be a perfect fit for him. Just see what he thinks about young sports talk guys and hot takes.
So I heard this nonsense recently where like sports talk hosts today, they go
the hot take.
The hot take, but it's it's insulting to the listen. Like the listener here is smart.
Right.
When you put a hot take out like, when Trey Turner comes back, they should move him to right field.
Right.
And have Sosby and everyday shortstop is idiotic.
Right.
And that is not even based in any a fact. They're not based in any information or study or instinct.
Yes.
So hot takes are one thing when you want to get people to talk about it, but it's got to make sense.
I agree with Mike there. It does have to make sense. And I'm curious if he knew he was coming back to 97.5 when he made, this was about 2 weeks ago that this interview happened, when he made these statements. Let's also move ourselves. This was actually just a funny moment. This is Cuz berating his co-host, who, for all intents and purposes, seems like a really nice guy. I feel bad. I'm going to be hovering over top of his head here. You won't even be able to see his face, but he's kind of just taken in being with these two terrestrial local giants, and he gets yelled at here. This is just a nice little aside.
All City. All right, Mike. So let's get back to this and VG, jump in anytime you want. But
VG,
the violation's great here. It's celebrity.
It's my man, right?
Dude, I'm just in awe, man. This is like
at least he's honest.
Royalty here.
Yeah. Why'd you have to call him out like that, Cuz? Just let the guy hang out, In my opinion, Cuz has actually always kind of had this issue where, like, I think it's with these producers getting their mind. Cuz is such a big personality that he needs like a really plain and mellow guy next to him. There's definitely something to that, but they kind of almost pair Cuz with dudes that are like almost too quiet, in my opinion. His current co-host, again, I feel bad, I don't even know this guy's name, but his current co-host on like his main, the dude who's normally there, and he sings the Sixers song in Spanish. That guy's honestly probably the best co-host Cuz has had in a while. And then the last part of this that's actually of note is 140, where Mike throws a little bit of shade at the man who kind of stole his job. Now, we don't know all the details of, the Mike Missanelli show and the transition over to the best show ever. Obviously Tyrone taking over as host. Sometimes people throw shade at Tyrone. I mean, if you think he's anything other than like just a company man who's dedicated and just doing what he can to make his career thrive and saying yes to, these opportunities. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't think he stabbed him in the back. I think bringing in Ricky Bo is what really kind of threw a nut into the whole wrench, man, if you will. And it's why we have this big falling out. But that's just my opinion. Decide for yourself here, where they discuss just how great it is having so many Philly All-Stars in the All-Star game for the MLB, and how much of a drought, or just how like pathetic it used to be, like the one guy that we'd send. This comment was pretty interesting to me.
I would love to tell these stories on the air. He was the best.
Well, the beauty, you really started the real personal stuff. Like nobody, when it first came on the scene, sports radio was very sportsy, right? Like you talk about this, and you kind of brought people into it. You personalized it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the wrong clip. This is Mike just talking about personalizing talk radio. To be honest, that's actually pretty boring. Let's move on from that. We want to go to 53. So decide for yourself here. Sorry about that. Decide for yourself here. Just what Mike's opinions might be of Ricky Bottalico. He has a very high opinion of him.
Have had, and you said it brilliantly, the Phillies have had these long droughts, right? Like you had my childhood was the 80, right? And those Phillies. And then they went all the way to 93, and that was a blip. And then 08, like those are long droughts.
Ricky Bottalico was an all-star.
Right.
Wow. Ha ha ha. Ricky Bottalico was an all-star. Look at Cuz with the quick save though.
Yes. Ricky Bo.
1996 when that
more Ricky to hate him.
Fergosi was on his way out. At that point, it was
2017. Pat Neshek was the all-star for the Phillies.
Wow.
I remember back in the day, Wayne Twitchell.
All right, so I just thought that was so funny, man. Him just like not able to resist taking a little shit on Ricky Bottalico there. I actually find Ricky Bottalico kind of entertaining for the most part, man. I think he's a guy who's got a lot of bills to pay. I don't know, maybe there's a next wave or two in there. I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy. I'm an idiot who's just shooting the shit with you here. But anyway, man, so shortly thereafter, within 2 weeks, Bob Cooney is out and Mike is back in. Let's get a general sense of the reaction, man. No, this business is the worst, says Joanne Burke. Better not be for Mike Missanelli. We'll never listen to 97.5 ever again. Well, Joanne, I got news for you. John Kincaid chiming in, a longtime co-host, wise and funny, with always a level head to share advice. You will be missed by all of us. Now, you'll notice there's 14 comments. I don't want to know what those 14 comments are. No, thanks. Tyrone survives another round of layoffs. Crazy. You're crazy for thinking that he would get laid off at this point. Like he survives everything, I'm sorry, but like you can despise the guy all you want. He's one of the only hosts there who keeps a show sort of afloat. Good luck, Bob. Keep your head up. Upper management has no clue what they're doing there. Well, to be fair, they got rid of Mike, let him float out, fired a bunch of guys, shuffled the deck, and now they're bringing Mike back. You might actually have a point there. He hate me and gonna miss you, Bob. You were one of the only rational person left at the station on sports. IMO. Got me through some long shifts at work. I completely agree, man. Midday, Bob Cooney, Ray Dunn, and Amy DeFool. It's like that combo, man. Just can't be beat on Fridays. No, Chaz. I kind of agree with you, buddy. This one was cute, I thought. Joe K sharing a little picture here. Look what they took away from us. Of course, Bob Cooney, with at least one iteration of the morning crew, I believe that's Connor in the middle here. And just more people. You got E-Rock, the famous E-Rock caller. You love you, Bob. Ooh, Sam Stafford. Sorry to hear this. On to the next. She's a local reporter. I think she does sports for she did sports for ABC or something for a while. And here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Ricky Bowe, the best. He meant to write show ever as a plug, but he forgot, obviously. And then Bob had like a little follow-up. I can't thank everyone enough for all the nice words that have been sent my way since Wednesday. Not gonna lie, I'm still stunned and hurt not to be doing something I truly loved. I root for my friends at the Fanatic. A lot of great people there. I already miss talking to all of you. As you can see, I can't read. We're going to miss you too, Bob, man. We're going to miss you too. Don't worry, people. He'll be on like All City in a year or whenever, their non-competes wear out, and just some more love for the guy, man. Hate that the station did this. You'll be missed. Come down the dial. Okay, they mean the 94.1. I don't know, man. I mean, they don't seem to have much of a grip on things. Don't get me wrong, they're beating the shit out of 97.5. I'm almost positive in like every single category. But it's not like that's a whole lot more organized, or they're going to have much better options. So then, of course, man, they went ahead and announced that they were going to be actually replacing Bob Cooney with Mike Missanelli. So let's go ahead and get over to Kincaid and Sal Chunas. One thing that confuses me about this show is it's called Kincaid and Sal Chunas, but Chunas, I think that's why everyone calls him Chunas, man, because it's kind of hard to get that Sal Chunas out without sounding like a fool for saying it. But it's called Kincaid and Sal Chunas, but every time I've tuned into it, Andrew like runs the morning monologue and like kind of runs the show. I guess it's supposed to be like a co-hosty thing, but I don't know, Andrew. For my monies, man, you've got the host energy, and John is taking a back seat to you, man. So keep that up, man. Just keep on rocking it. We've all seen just in this last 17 minutes how cutthroat and awful this industry can be. But don't worry, I'm going to lead you through it. We're all going to get through this. We're going to get to the middays ourselves. And you better believe we're going to be watching middays closely with Mikey Miss. This is going to be on YouTube. I think we can cover this. We'll see how litigious the Fanatic is, and if they absolutely despise this and nail us for it. So let's see. I've got some notes here. 203 is... I want to start with this because I think it just kind of frames like the mindset of sports talk radio and just what they're doing to all of us as an audience member.
It is 7:59 on Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic, on show number 100 on a Fanatic Friday. Can't believe it, man. It's been a lot of fun, and we haven't even reached football season yet, dude. So
that's the good part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I said to you before the show number 1 that 2024 was going to be a year of content, no matter how the Sixers season played.
A year of content. This is how they look at us, man. They just look at us as like we've just got to shovel a bunch of content into their faces, and they'll accept the commercials, and they'll accept blocking comments, and they'll just accept having their voices silenced, or us only taking certain calls from the people who we know aren't going to shake the bag. I mean, I know I'm kind of jumping to conclusions a little bit here, but the year of content, man, for my money's worth, sports talk used to be about connection and not just content. So just wanted to start there. I think that's kind of telling. We'll jump up to 2:15 here when the big moment occurred here.
Missanelli. What? What's the on it? I don't want to tell
the
my
time
parents
he got in trouble with his parents.
Hey, Mike Missanelli.
What?
What's the most you ever got in trouble with your parents?
Am I on?
What did you
do?
Am I on?
Hey,
Look,
is this
there he
thing
is.
on?
He's back. We can't believe it. You're back, Mike. You're back. I'll be honest, I never thought he'd come back to 97.5. I figured if he came back anywhere, maybe he'd find a spot on 94.1. But I genuinely can't believe that he's back here. They kind of just like have nice words for each other, which is nice, which is cute. But we'll skip to the good stuff. 217 here.
We'll never reach those levels.
Yes, of course.
Is on the microphone.
You're back. Mike Missanelli.
Just when I thought I was out,
He's back.
they bring me back in.
What's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Classic.
Yes, I am
Mike.
back. I am back. Glad to see you guys. And we're starting another chapter.
A new chapter
Here at 97.5 The Fanatic.
A new chapter of a place that you, and I know that I told you this when I chose to come here, you helped build, you were literally a cornerstone of this place.
I was here for 15 years, John, and started out as
That was kind of a weird response.
WPEN AM, and then we made the transfer to FM, and we became a viable station.
You did.
And the station near and dear to my heart, obviously. And the way I look at it now is that in my last contract, I had a 2-year and 3-month vacation. So I'm ready to return to. I'm ready to return to
A vacation that started off in tears and a lot of emotional statements. Warranted, all warranted. By the way, I'm not making fun of him for the tears. I'm just saying it was a very emotional goodbye. Like that's a hell of a way to go on vacation.
It's good to have you back, man. It is
good. It is good to see you.
Thank you.
And everybody, too. Everything's good. You're glad to be back. You're glad to be part of the family. You're glad to be seeing people.
What is the iPod? This is not on my like the vocal fry that we're experiencing as they're speaking. That's insane.
That you still had good relationships
See, do you hear that? These aren't even good.
with even when you left.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I missed talking to the callers. I did a really good my podcast that I love doing it with the people at Bet Rivers. I'm going to continue to do that. But a lot of things happened after I left. Like
What he probably did was convince them that by getting back, the reason he's allowed to still do this. I mean, I can't believe 97.5 is letting him still do the podcast. But the reason Bet Rivers is still letting him do it is because he's like, look, I know the numbers have been around like 500. Seriously, go check it out yourself. But his numbers for his podcast they're kind of sporadic, man. They're like 500 views, maybe a little bit lower sometimes, all the way up to like 5,000, which is really, I mean, look, if we got 500 to 5,000 views, we'd be some happy campers over here. So that's very good. But I'm sure he sold Bet Rivers that if he gets back on the radio, he's going to be able to bring more listeners onto the podcast.
A World Series happened,
and their money.
A Super Bowl happened.
All right, yeah, he just kind of like, oh wait,
collapse in an NLCS happened, and
let's skip ahead to 221. So Mike just talks about all the stuff he missed.
Same place, but we've just undergone a change, and we're looking for new horizons on the one.
That's cool. Now, what are you excited about starting again? I mean, we know that
This starts when?
You can't August 12th. You can't wait to
August 12th. There you go, people. It's a Monday.
talk to the callers. But I mean, I just said it before you came on. I said before our first show, John and I, that 2024 is a year of content.
2024 is the year of content. I need to clip that. Let's clip that.
It is.
There's so much going.
I like Mike's. It is. I think like us, he doesn't know how to respond to that. It almost doesn't register in his brain. If you're like us, it almost doesn't register in the year of content
going on, and it hasn't slowed down. We haven't even reached football season yet.
I know it's a good time to be back. There's a lot of good things happening, and then there's a lot of mystery things happening. Like the mystery thing to me is
the mystery is the Sixers. We all know the Sixers are a mystery right now. Even if you hate the Sixers, they're kind of a mystery to you.
August 12th.
This is really cool.
It's like a new beginning, man.
Your vacation's ending.
I got to be honest with you. It feels a little surreal. You've been away from it for a while. And you walk into the studio and you go, I used to do this.
Yeah.
So I got to I got to find a way to get that back.
And not much has changed.
I don't think much is going to change.
We got these TVs.
Is he nervous? You're not nervous, Mike. You've been on air since then. What's he nervous about?
Screens.
Mike
That's really the big difference.
He was excited about the TV screens.
They're nice screens.
TV screens are nice. I think I'm going to be kinder.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa! We're going to get a kinder Mike. Well, he's making an intention to be kinder. Let's hold him to it. Let's see if he's kinder. Is he going to be empathetic to people that don't share his political ideologies? We'll get into that. We're going to end this stream by just going over the response from the public on this. The response on Twitter from this.
You'll see. I think you'll find a kinder Mike.
Okay.
How's that? Will that work?
Wait a minute. Is that going to be? But your listeners are looking for. There's a Mike that they grew up with.
Kincaid wants him to be mean. I think we all want him to be mean. We all like mean Mike. Don't be nice, Mike. Mean Mike is the best Mike. We all like mean Mike. And then let's see here. I got 2335 written down. Let's see why I wrote that down. Oh, look, we're right there.
Thank you.
We'll see.
There he is, Mike Missanelli, who is returning to 97.5 The Fanatic starting August 12th, a Monday, right before the start of football season, doing middays with Bill Colarulo and Ray Dunn, and we're really excited.
And even the local radio gossip columnist didn't nail this one today.
That's why I picked this out. So John Kincaid has been reading the comments, if you will, the local radio gossip columnists. He's probably, of course, talking about Crossing Broad. I maybe there's like some other ones that participate in stuff, but well, they did kind of spoil that Mike was coming back. They did not nail that he was going to be on the morning show. This was a surprise to everybody. But interesting to know, John, that you are concerned. Look at this concern in his eyes.
They didn't leak it. Didn't leak it.
Didn't leak it.
It was that he was going to appear on the show today. I was expecting the local radio gossip columnist to come up with that he was going to say 8:10 this morning. I'm glad.
He thinks they can predict everything down to the T. You got a mole then, man. You got a mole there. John, concerned about the gossip columnist. Well, who could blame him, man? You know, when people start talking shit on you, it can be hard to handle sometimes. So big announcement, man. And here is the response. Great move, 97.5 The Fanatic. Woke Mike Missanelli. Well, that was a little bit low down, man. You don't need to go and call him names like that. Sweet. Great news. Love listening to Mike. Yes. Boo-hoo. Mikey Miss said some mean things about our hero. Said mean things about our hero. Which hero? I don't even know. We don't like him. I actually have no idea what that guy's referring to. Just when I thought I was okay, I guess this guy just pulls the exact same reference that Mike used, which actually is a pretty good reference for some callers here who might have been on the fence about 97.5. Bringing Mike back was the game-tying touchdown. Now bring Cuz back for the game-winning kick. Well, I'm sorry, parlay takers, but unless you're just like an insane bot, that is the worst take you could possibly have on this whole. There's no way Cuz is coming back. No way. In hell. It'll never happen. The king of Twitter, blocking is back. Yeah, Mike does block people apparently quite wantonly on Twitter, which is never really a good look for having a popular show, but it's not the worst look either. People act like blocking is so detrimental. They don't give a shit if they blocked you, man. Great news. My favorite sports radio personality is back. I didn't walk, but ran. Just grabbed a Starbucks with a faulty lid to celebrate this announcement. You know what, John Healy? That's actually really funny because if you watch the Mike Missanelli show, often on the show he would go to grab his coffee and the lid would be faulty. He'd be playing with it while he was on air. That's a pretty deep cut there, John Healy. You're a real fan. The WIP drive time is not great. He'll get good ratings. I disagree. I actually think it's gotten better with Spike. Everyone hates Spike. You're all wrong about that. Spike is amazing. He's the best. And, you know, you're just going to have to give him a year. Give Spike a year. Give him a year. Big fan of Bob Cooney. Upset that he got let go. Yeah, I think we all are. But she's a big fan of Mike. So, I mean, Joe Fortune here. He's down for it, man. Steve Lawler. Lawyer? Is he a lawyer? Can you help me if 97.5 gets litigious with this stream? Congrats, Mike. Glad to have you back on the airwaves. Well, no, he's obviously going to side with them if I get in trouble. Thank God. This is a very positive chain of tweets. The Lord of the airwaves has returned. Whoa, that's a big statement there, Jordan. We love Bob Cooney, but let's be honest, that show was dreadful to live. Holy fucking shit. You love Bob Cooney, but you're willing to say his show was dreadful to listen to? You're a monster, James. You're a monster, James. I can't support that. Yay! Well, how do you pronounce that? L, says Paladin. Y, Kevin Hayes. I went to school with Kevin Hayes. I wonder if it's hey Kev, What's up, dude? I guess he's not a fan. Such a smart move by 97.5 The Fanatic, says Chin Hai. One of the most intelligent hosts in my lifetime. Such a great host. Welcome back, Mikey. Does he like being called Mikey? I feel like Mike strikes me as the kind of guy who would not like being called Mikey. So you might want to watch it there, Chin Hai. You may need to watch it. Flipper, thanks for the heads up. Now I can remove 97.5 from my set list of channels. Oh, wait. I already did that years ago. Damn, Flipper. He's having a brat summer. Thank God he's back. Now I can start listening to 97.5. So look at that, Jake. Completely opposite of Flipper. We got a few more here. I'll be listening. Welcome back. Haven't listened since you left. Damn. Okay. So that's a 100%. Drew is a Missanelli stan. But Drew, I do have to ask, man, have you been listening to Mike's podcast? Because that's shitty if you haven't been, because he needs the numbers and he needs the likes. So that's really crappy if you only listen to him on the radio, but you didn't follow him for his podcast. I'll drop this channel on Monday then. It's next Monday. So you got some time, buddy. You can listen for another week or so. Enjoy. What is it? Bill and Ray have been running the show since then. Let's go, Joe. Must be election season. What does that mean? Is 97.5 run by libs? Is it run by libs? They need Mike to lib it up just in time for the presidential. Wow, this guy says the same. He's saying the exact same thing. Way to go, Mike. Push Kamala the savior. Okay. Is there beef with Mike and Tyrone? They have to be in the same building. No, there's no beef between Mike and Tyrone. I don't know if they've officially gotten together. I don't think I've seen them get together on a podcast or anything, but to be fair, Tyrone's extremely busy and works a lot. I don't think there's any beef between them at all. If there's any hard feelings at all, I'm sure it's literally still able to stay completely professional between them. I'll say, I mean, callers might hate him. Idiots call Tyrone rude, but he's the consummate professional, man. That guy, if you needed a fucking job done, I bet Tyrone would get it done for you, man. Legend LMAO. What does that mean, Diego? Legend LMAO. Is he making fun of him or is he happy? I don't know. Fantastic. Congrats, Mike. Can't wait to listen to woke sports takes. What's a woke sports take besides that men and women should be allowed to compete together equally and that won't be a problem? I literally and the transgender thing. Does Mike promote either of those? I've never heard him talk about those at all. Don't worry, buddy. I think the woke sports takes will stay out of it. You might get woke, I guess, social commentary takes. You're not going to get woke sports takes. Not from Mike. I don't think so. Okay. Or what, is paying NCAA athletes, is that considered woke? A woke take? He blocked everyone. Who do you think listens to this? Sorry. Oh, I'm not going to say that live. That's inappropriate, sir. Well, again, some people think him blocking is a problem. I'd say maybe not, because if Mike's blocked you, now the show is the only way for you to interact with him. So you have to call. Was the best. You guys are horrible at this. Bob Cooney. So I didn't see the Bob Cooney highlight there. So he's pissed. Go, Mike. Haven't listened to that station since you left. Yeah, another guy. Oh, this guy, Michael Williams. Sad to see Bob Cooney go, but with the true king. Oh, he's taking the moniker from Howard. Coming back, I can't be too sad. Missanelli is the one who got me into listening to sports talk radio when he was teamed up with Steve Fredericks. Oh yeah, Steve Fredericks back in the day. Please let Tyrone stay. He's smart and He's smart, entertaining, and knows his stuff. He's smart, entertaining, and knows his stuff. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I agree with you, Michael Williams. I agree with you. Entertaining for sure. They get rid of the other talent. They had to bring back this clown. I can assure the station director, no one is excited to hear him again. That's a lie. I'm actually personally excited to hear him again. Cooney got the Conan Jay Leno treatment. He did kind of get the Conan Jay Leno treatment just because he decided he wanted to come back. They totally booted him. You're an idiot, Will, for comparing Bob Cooney to Conan. Bob Cooney's like with Ferguson. Bob Cooney's more like a Ferguson kind of guy. He's more like that level, you know. Good show. You don't hate him. You know, he's never annoyed you. But you know, Conan, come on, man. Come on. Conan. I think you gotta go like Cataldi if you're going Conan, man. What time? Carl asking the real questions here. All right, I'm starting to get bored with this. So guarantee I won't ever listen again. Thank God, demoted 10-2. Is it really a demotion? Because I mean, while drive time is obviously the top spot, it's the one that they have on TV. I've personally always thought that a job that is basically from 10-2 is almost the perfect amount of time to be working every single day, not including your show prep, which, let's be honest, all these radio shows just they do a little themselves for the local stuff, but they just hire some local marketing group to get their shit together for them. Nail in the coffin for 97.5. Wow, Infidel. Oh, Infidel. We're not going there, man. This guy's with those guys. Okay, yeah, get out of here, Infidel. Continue. Your opinion doesn't matter. Continuing their dominance of being the second best sports radio station in the city. Wish they kept Bob and slid Mike back to the 2 to 6 slot. I mean, that definitely would be a call, but then they'd have to figure out something to do with Ricky, which might be a good idea to move Ricky down to the morning with Kincaid. But who knows if he'd be willing to do that with his Phillies schedule, man. That dude's up late. He blocked me on Twitter, and I'm guessing he went through my likes and saw that I leaned right because I never actually interacted with him. That's crazy. Mike, you should respond to Danny Boy because that's nuts if that's true. You cannot be wasting your time going through people's likes and stuff, man. And if that's a lie, you got to defend yourself. This is great news. Welcome back, Mike. About time finally can listen to this station again, says Mike Rinaldi. Not tuning in. Sixers and 4. Probably not, but you know, good. Should have never let him leave in the first place. Well, I think it was his choice to walk away, Chris. Congratulations, Mike. It'll be great to hear you back on the airwaves. Wishing you much success. Fine. I'm going to WIP. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. So I married a Korean. You got a great username. I'm going to WIP. And then actually, this tweet I thought really kind of summed up the whole situation that we got going on right now with sports talk radio in Philadelphia. And this situation pretty much encapsulated right here. You fire him from drive time and put his producer on his TV show. You hire Kincaid and then make him take a back seat to Anthony's producer while firing the rest of his show. Now Mike is the midday guy while Tyrone and Ricky are still holding his old TV show, mistreating people. Yup. Well, okay, I don't agree with that last part. I don't know anything about mistreating people. That's an insane statement to make. But for sure, man. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. But for sure, pretty crazy, man, when you put it like that. They hire him, they fire him, they put this producer on, they take that producer off. Bob Cooney's out, Jamie Lynch is out. They don't care that these people have families and bills to pay. They're just discarding them like they're product, like they're just cattle to be taken to the slaughter. Rest assured, though, guys, we have your backs, man. Bob, we're going to miss you, dude. I mean, it's just not fair what they did. And in the meanwhile, we're just going to have to stand by and watch as the situation unfolds. I mean, I personally definitely think, it's getting completely crazy. It's a pretty good time to be tuning into all this stuff because, quite frankly, you almost get the sense that they don't exactly know what they're doing, so as far as what we have to look forward to, probably get pretty nuts. I'm curious though, more than anything, to see how things shake out with Mike coming back after talking some shit to Ricky Metallico. We know he doesn't like, because he like screwed up his show, man. He came in, they put him on afternoons, they took Mike away. I'm not on the inside. I don't know. I'm just a fan, speculator. I'm just a listener, speculator. I just like listening to this stuff. But you gotta wonder, man, what is that going to be like? And then again, Mike working with the young guy. It's all going to be young guys that Mike's working with on the midday. So we'll see, man. I'm definitely going to be tuning in. Another thing, actually, now touch on this. This is the last thing to touch on, which kind of brings Cuz back into the conversation here to round it out. Cuz's show, I'm pretty sure when it's like live, is on from like 9 to 1 or something along those lines. So that's going to almost conflict directly with Mikey Miss, his buddy here. So now we're going to see a radio war between these two. Streaming wars, man. Oh, we shall see. Well, if you actually tuned into this, man, I thank you. You've got some pretty weird and niche tastes, much like me. But rest assured, we're going to follow it, man. We're going to see what's going on. I'm probably not going to stream about this all the time, but we're trying to put a show together here. And I think the radio wars in Philadelphia could definitely be like a fun thing to touch on from time to time. In the meantime, we're going to sign off. Take care, everybody. Just appreciate what you have, because if this situation shows us anything, it's that anything can change at any time.